This is what you've been waiting for. We have a lot of great news to talk about here in the Austin housing market. Let's just jump into the data. First of all, price drops over time. Really good news. If you pause this and you go ahead and zoom in, you'll see that quarter one or last month here in January, we have fewer price drops or a fewer percentage of price drops. That's great compared to 2022 and 2023, even through 2024. So we see that downward trend line. Great news. I wanted to see that. I felt that, but I didn't know if it was necessarily true, and the data is telling us it is. So that's really great for sellers and for buyers. Now let's go into the market pricing by city. Now I would like you to see this trend line. Notice something. See how 2022, 2023, you had that spike in price, right? And now if you look at 2024 and 2025, you'll see how we're just even. We did not increase in appreciation. We haven't decreased slightly in depreciation. We see that we're flat. And I felt that again, but didn't know if it was true. And we are seeing that right into the new year. If you look back here in 2020, 2019, 2018, those values are lower than where we're at today. What that means is sellers are still selling for more compared to pre-pandemic times, and buyers are still paying more, and home prices are more expensive. So this is really, really, again, great news for sellers. This is good news for buyers because your homes are appreciating. Now, the total home sales forecasts are expected to rise nationwide. In 2024, we have about 4.6 million homes that were sold, and I think I read something in the last 15 years that was like the lowest or fewest homes sold that we've seen in a very, very long time. And we expect that number to rise this year. More buyers are expected to definitely enter the market. Now, what does that mean for us here in the Austin metro area? Well, I do expect more buyers to enter the market because we have more inventory and prices are more affordable than they were in the last 3 years. So people have been really urging to get in to our market. Now, let's go into the data. First of all, average days to sell. It's going to take 97 days on average for a seller to sell their home, at least 97 days to go under contract, and then another 30 days to close. Previously, we were fewer days on market in order to get homes sold. Why? There's just more inventory. There's actually almost 6 months of inventory right now. So sellers, you definitely have a lot of competition. New listings, we're at 14.9%. That means we have year over year more homes for sale than we did last year or the year before. But here's the really great news. We have almost exact same of buyers that we've had over the last 3 years. We actually have a little bit more buyers coming to market than we did in the last few years. And we'll talk about that in a second. We're 94% price, close price to original list price, which means if you wanted 500,000, did you get it? No. A seller got less. That means buyers are winning when it comes to getting a better price for the property. The median list price is 489,000. Median close price is 400,000. The active listings are 10,350 with 1,790 homes sold. Great. That's a great number. I'll talk about that in the next slide. And then we have 3,041 or 42% more active listings compared to pre-pandemic. And here we have sold 175 more homes compared to pre-pandemic. So sellers, we are selling more homes than we have pre-pandemic time. Yes. However, you have more competition. That's why you feel that it might not be the greatest time to sell. In reality, we are definitely selling more homes. You just have more competition. Now, let's go into our number of homes sold in resale when you're looking at price points. Pause this screen. You'll see about 21%, 22% of homes are going to sell up to that $500,000 range. You're between that kind of 1 million to 2 million range. About 10% of all homes are going to sell in that range. And then anywhere from that kind of 3 million to 5 million, you're about 6% of those properties are going to sell. So as a seller, you're going to mentally want to prepare that your home's not going to sell instantly. That's why days on market are around that 97 days. Now, sellers, if you look, the 1,790 homes that sold If you look at the years past, 2016, 2017, 18, and 19, see how there are fewer homes sold? So I'm really excited about this. It just really goes against the narrative of the news of scare, scare, scare. Let's look at the data. What is the numbers telling us? That we're selling more homes, which is awesome. We do have more active listings. We mentioned that days to sell are higher, almost 6 months. Most of this we just mentioned. The negotiation power is on the buyer side. So mentally prepare as a seller to negotiate with the buyer. You're going to give a little bit for sure. You will have repairs, and just don't immediately decline those potential repairs, because if you get a deal, that's a good deal. Also, if you have a popular home and it's priced correctly, it's going to get sold. And we have a really, really high ratio of sales here at Keller Williams. And that's because we're pricing it correctly and getting the home ready and where the buyers are going to want it. And we also have a huge spike in mortgage applications in January. I like that because that gets me excited of saying buyers are really wanting to enter the market. We actually had more mortgage applications in January, the second week, than we have since the pandemic in 2020. That's crazy. That's crazy to see. The question is, will those buyers actually pull the trigger and buy a home with interest rates around that 7%? That's yet to be seen. Also, sellers, I mentioned this last month, but you see how market values right now kind of where the projection is. Well, so assuming that all factors remain the same, we do expect home values to remain flat, continuing this trend from 2024. So really, if you look at this map here, zoom in, you'll notice that Austin has these lower values compared to the other cities in Texas. And we do continue to expect that trend to occur. Now, buyers, again, good news. We have more inventory, so a lot more to select from. You're not going to be pigeonholed to just one or two properties you don't like. It's a good time to buy for sure. New home interest rates, they've risen. So instead of the great 3.99% deals we saw last year, well, they're no longer like the best, but they're still good. And so if you're interested in the new home community, we can connect you with those who are still offering those incentives. Your sellers will negotiate on inspection, repairs, and some closing costs. And if the home is priced competitively, it will go quickly. We just had another buyer made an offer on a property, and there was 5 other offers on it already because it was priced $50,000 under where it should be. So yes, it happens, and yes, there's competition. Home values, they started to increase already. We already saw that from last month, and anticipate prices to continue to increase into spring. Naturally, that happens. You're typically going to pay about 4% more in prices if you buy in spring and summertime. And then don't buy a home unless you want to own the property for 3+ years. If you want to sell the home in a year or 2 years, don't buy. That's a horrible investment. You're going to lose money. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. We're happy to answer them. We're happy to give guidance. And I want to also take this time to thank my clients, thank everyone that's out there for supporting us, who's referred us business, because we could not win award after award after award without you. You are what helps us, and we love to help you. So thank you again. We appreciate you, and we look forward to you next month.